Hello. It's 10:14 p.m. I just ate and I'm sitting here. I was doing some editing and I realized once again, oh my gosh, the day is wrapping up and I haven't done my video. So here we are, because this is what we do now. This is part of the process. This is the habit. So I think it's cool that we're like 36, 37 days in, and now even if it is at 10 something at night, it's kind of become muscle memory to make these videos no matter what I look like, where I am, what I'm doing, whether I'm out with friends, whether I'm looking crazy in the middle of work, whatever it is, which is really cool because I think sometimes we think to form a habit or to create a foundation of a habit, it takes a really long time. Now, if you're expecting yourself to show up perfectly and for it to be easy in a short period of time, I do believe that's an unrealistic expectation. I think patience is a quality we don't put enough emphasis on in our society currently. Patience in a lot of things. Most things take time, and patience is a really important characteristic to have. How you treat yourself during the process of something is very impactful to who you are and how you go throughout that process. But all that to say, it's been cool developing this habit, although imperfectly, although often, we had that sprint of a week, like 3 or 4 days in a row where I was like, I don't feel like doing this today, guys. And I've showed up looking some of my worst on camera historically yet, and being vulnerable even in that, and like trusting this space, whether it's one person or 40 people or 50 people watching. So one thing I really can say is I'm really grateful for those of you who have popped in, popped out, who have commented. I need to catch up on comments. I do apologize. I don't have all of my notifications on because the notifications just from my business alone can overstimulate me in a day. And so I try not to have all my social media channels and all of those things. So sometimes I miss them and I have to go back. But I'm really grateful because genuinely starting this challenge, if you've been here from day one, you know that this was really about accountability and about getting myself to a place of comfortability of speaking authentically without overthinking it, and getting out of a mindset of perfectionism and in that space specifically, and trying to show up as this curated form. Because not that there's anything wrong with that. I love my high quality content girlies. They give me life, and I aspire to bring that level of creative energy and intention behind that vision to my future videos. But waiting to show up as that became an excuse rather than motivation, right? It gave me another reason to delay or to not feel like something was good enough, or to plan rather than actually execute. And that's because, like I mentioned previously, when I started my social media career, at the time we were bloggers, as a blogger, everything was kind of, I mean, compared to now, high quality looked different, but just going out and taking pictures in a space that I used to location scout. I would go, I worked my job, and then whenever I had off days, I would go walk around the area, or I would go on my lunch break and I'd walk around the area by my job, and I would scout locations, and then I'd come back on a Saturday with a photographer and shoot for like 3 or 4 hours in that spot. And that's all I did. I would just do that every weekend, and I got used to that very planned presentation, which was fun. But then my life shifted and the industry shifted, and so how I wanted to show up when I kind of returned, or as I'm returning, it was a little bit, there was just this space that I didn't really understand how to navigate. So this challenge to myself to show up for 90 days was my way to push myself through that space that I was having kind of a difficult time getting through. Oh yeah, by the way, I know yesterday or the day before we talked about these nails. Ooh, they still look good. However, remember how I said how strong the glue was? Look at that. the nail broke, but it stayed on where my natural nail was, like where the glue was. So this nail did break. I probably will have to figure out how to get this off because it's on there pretty strong. So that, unfortunately, that's the bad part. I know there's like a glue remover, but I'd have to order it. Maybe I'll go to the beauty supply store and get it, but the glue works, man. Like, these are good. I'm not gonna press my luck though, because I don't, like I said, these were only $9. So not the highest quality press-on nail. However, they are super cute. I got a little sidetracked there, but my point was, I'm grateful for you all that have come on this journey with me thus far, and I'm really excited about continuing. And I extend that gratitude to say whether it's one person or 40 people watching, because I think like one of the videos had maybe 40 or 50 views, which is a lot. I'm really grateful for each and every one of you because, number one, I'm just sitting here yapping. I'm not here to provide any specific value. I'm not showing up super done up some days. Sometimes I'm doing the bare minimum. Other days I'm just rambling and I have some insightful things to say. All that is to say, I'm not intentionally or specifically providing you all value, and yet you still show up and choose to support, whether that's, you know, just a minute of your time, or you watch the whole video, or you like, or you comment, or you subscribe. But I think I've gained like 15 followers since I started this, and I haven't promoted it at all. So this is just you guys finding me and giving me a chance, and I really appreciate that. So I hope that I continue to provide you whatever it is that I'm currently providing you. But I do think that now that I'm shifting into that space of forced comfortability, I am excited to share more about the things that I'm passionate about and the things that I have interest in that can hopefully provide you value, so that it's not just that you're supporting me, but I can give something back to you. Because if I was standing in an empty room alone, which technically that's what I'm doing right now, and somebody just walked past and was like, wow, what you're saying is interesting enough, I'm gonna just sit here and listen to you speak for 6-7 minutes. That would be kind of crazy, right? And imagine 3 people doing that, or 5 people doing that, or 40 people doing that. I know we're so used to so many big numbers, and I think that part of what capitalism does is like, it equates people to just a number, and then those numbers don't really have any meaning behind it. Like, you say somebody has 1 million views, what does that mean? I mean, I know we know that it means 1 million views, but we can't concept what 1 million people look like. Even when I've seen some stadiums where they're like, yeah, Beyonce like sold out a stadium of 50,000 people, that's a hard thing to concept, that many people, right? That's 50, and people would scoff at you for having 50,000 views. Like, oh, do you just have 50,000 views? That's it? 50,000 people are, that's a Beyonce sized stadium, Beyonce size, but you know what I'm saying? That's a huge stadium that Beyonce could sell out. 50,000 people, and on social media we equate that to nothing. And I think that's very interesting. I never want to get to a point where I forget that a person is a single person and just the value and power of that. If you have the power to change your own life, you've already done life correctly. But if you go through life and you have the power and the opportunity to impact other people's lives positively, you've unlocked what it means to be human and what it means to have community. So whether it's 1 person, 2 people, 40 people, 40,000 people sounds crazy, but I am open to whatever is in alignment with what my best life looks like, right? And the people that hopefully I'm meant to impact. But just remember that. If you're a content creator, or if you're just going throughout your life, know that you change people's life just by living and by being an example of the character and the values that you think are important. If you are impacting 1 person's life in real life or on social media, you are adding to what makes this world a better place. So, you know, don't sleep on that. I know that won't give you the big influencer checks. I get that. But there's a lot of ways to have purpose. I am a strong believer that purpose does not require popularity. Quite often, some of the most impactful things that have happened arguably have ripple effects that go generations and generations, and it started with impacting one person at a time. So, anywho, started off as a blab and we got a little sentimental there, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go back to getting some work done because I really have some cool ideas that I plan on implementing on social media over the next couple of months, and so I want to get to working on that, and I'm gonna get up early tomorrow, so I'm a little sleepy. I also need to do a skin treatment because my skin has been kind of not it recently. I need to do a mask and probably use my wand. Maybe I'll wait to do it tomorrow and I'll record a video for social media. Maybe we'll do that. Take this party over to TikTok. All right. Good night. Love you guys. Bye.